Hi, everyone, and welcome to Cognify. In today's session, we'll be looking at some algebraic type of questions. So, with these questions, we're going to be simplifying the given algebraic expression, just simplifying it to its simplest form, and we'll also be doing a bit of factorization. So, these type of questions are quite important, right? Skills that you'll learn in this exercise will allow you to go beyond and solve for x or manipulating certain equations to derive some kind of solution. So understanding such basics will help you down the line. So let us go ahead and tackle this. So in the first question, what are we given? We are given, okay, so that's point one. We are given 2x plus 3, and all of that is multiplied by 2x minus 2. So here we've got two factors, right? So this here it's factorized. We could multiply them out and basically simplify it, right? So it's basically the reverse of the second part of the question where we have to factorize completely. But let's go ahead, right? So when you're given such an equation and you want to expand on it, right? So what you need to do, right? Just take one term and then multiply by each individual term in the other factor. So we're going to do this way, right? So we're going to take this here and then multiply. You multiply that by 2x squared, multiply it again by minus x, and then lastly, multiply by minus 2. So we expect to see three terms, okay, through this multiplication. And then secondly, after you've done that, you're then going to take the next term and then multiply by 2x squared by minus x and lastly by minus 2. So once you've done that, right, the expectation here is for you to get a total of 6 terms. From those 6 terms, you're then going to simplify that by adding up the like terms. So let us go ahead and do that. So firstly, let us do the first term, right? So 2x multiplied by 2x squared. So that will be 4x squared. Again, sorry, it's going to be 4x cubed. So what you need to note here, right? We are multiplying 2x by 2x squared. Okay. So now x, okay, since we're multiplying x by x, it's simply going to be adding up the exponents. That's why we get a 3 here. So on this one here, the exponent is 1. On the other one, it's 2. And the coefficients, we just multiply them together, we get a 4. So next one is taking 2x multiplying by minus x. So that's going to be minus 2x squared. And then next one, 3 times minus 2. That gives you minus 6. Okay. Then lastly, let's go to the next one. Okay. So the next one is 3 times 2x squared. So that gives us positive 6x squared. Okay, next one, it's going to be 3 times minus x, so it's minus 3x. And then lastly, 3 times minus 2, so minus 6. And that is basically it, okay? So the next step here, we need to add them up, okay? So we've got a number of terms here. Now we need to add each term with its like term, okay? So now I'm going to highlight these for you. So firstly, 4x cubed doesn't have any other term like it. In other words, it doesn't have a other term that has an x cubed. Okay, so we're gonna leave it as it is. So it's gonna be 4x cubed. Next one, 2x squared. It has a term that's like it, right? Which is 6x squared. So we can simply add them. Okay, so here we're going to be working with the coefficients. So minus 2 plus 6 is 4. So that's going to be plus 4x squared. Next one, it's going to be 3x, right? There's no any other term like it. So we're going to leave it as it is. Let's see, next one. Unless, let us quickly check again, right? Uh, let's see here. We've got 4x squared, and then we've got minus 2x squared, then minus 4x. So we missed this part here. You see 2x multiplied by minus 2. So now that one is going to be, or just put it here again, minus 4x. Okay, so we actually have two like terms. We've got minus 4x and 3x. So that gives us minus 7x. And then lastly, the constant, right? So now with this constant, this one shouldn't be there. So with this constant, right, there's no any other term like it. So we're just going to leave it as it is. So that's basically it here, right? So we can't simplify this any further. So we leave it as it is. Then the next question, 2.1.2, we are given x plus 3 divided by x minus 3. And then here we are multiplying by x cubed minus 27 divided by x cubed minus 9 multiplied by x minus 3 divided by x squared plus 3x plus 9. So now here we need to simplify this, right? So one way to do it is to try and see if we can factorize some of the terms here. Okay. So now let's see. Here we've got uh, here we've got x plus 3. Okay. And here we've got x squared minus 9. So I can see here, okay, that this here can actually be broken up as x minus 3, x plus 3. So you can clearly see here that we can take this, cancel that with that. Okay. Another one is we can take that and cancel it with that. Okay. So here we are simply just breaking up some of these terms here, right? And then canceling common terms. So can we go a bit further and factorize maybe this one here, x, it's actually x cubed, okay? X cubed minus 27. That can actually be broken up into x minus 3 multiplied by x squared plus 3x plus 9. Okay, so now let us see here. What else is there? We can take that and cancel it with that. So this whole x squared minus 9 is gone, right? So it's only a 1 in the denominator. So this one here cannot be factorized, so we leave it as it is. So that is basically it. Okay, so when we simplify this, what do you get? Let us proceed and write down what remains. So we have x squared plus 3x plus 9, and then we divide that by x squared plus 3x plus 9. Okay, so these two are the only terms, okay, that remain. So you can clearly see that they're exactly the same, so we can just cancel it. And then the answer here is 1. It's nice how everything simplifies itself, right? When you break it up and then you cancel common terms. But this only applies when you're numerator and denominator, right? Then these terms here, you can clearly see that being multiplied. Okay, so if we were like doing it in a different way, taking this here and then adding instead, then we'd have to take a different approach. Yeah. Okay, then. So let's proceed to the next bit where we're going to be doing a bit of factorization, right? So in 2.2.1, we are given 2a squared plus 9a minus 5. So now, in this question here, we want to factorize, okay? Uh, so before I proceed, right, just note that I've done these two questions, right? This part here, I want to leave it to you guys. Uh, Attempt it and share your solution in the comment section. And I will provide the solution in the description, right, for you guys to compare it with yours. So in the next segment, right, we've got 2a squared plus 9a minus 5. So now we want to factorize this, okay? So it's the opposite approach we're taking to the previous one where we have to multiply terms out and simplify, okay? So now here, to factorize this, right, you need to check the coefficients, okay? And then you're going to use those coefficients, plug it into this section, right? So this section here, this part here that I've written down, it's going to be taking the coefficients. So the coefficients here are A and B, okay? So we'll just define that here. So it's going to be A here, and this is B. So please do not confuse these two here, right? So these are just constants that represent the coefficients of our terms, okay? So here, A is equal to 2, okay? And here, B is equal to 5. So now, what we're going to do here, right? We're going to take these, plug it up here, okay? And then the next part, we're going to take C, okay? C is going to be this bit here, 9. We're going to take that and put it down here, okay? And note it's a positive 9. Okay, then. So now here, what we're going to do here is break each of these coefficients up, right? This one and this one here. What you need to note here is, you see the signs here? At the bottom here, the 9, okay? I took the sign as is, the positive, I put it there, right? For these ones here, to simplify things, I'm just keeping them as positive. I'm going to assign the signs later on, as I'll show you, okay? So with the 2, the factors are just 2 and 1. With the 5, the factors are simply 5 and 1. Okay. So from here onwards, right, what we're going to be doing is cross multiply. So I'm going to take the 1, multiply by the 5, and the 2, multiply by the 1. Okay. But what I want you to see here is that depending on the factors that you've chosen, okay, you get a different output. So if we cross multiply, right, 2 times 1 is 2. 1 times 5 is 5. Okay. So the approach I'm taking here is to cross multiply and then assign positive or negative to these terms here, right? 5 and 2. Add them up and then hopefully get a 9. Okay. In this case here, I can't. Whether I subtract by taking 5 and then minus 2, I would get 3, right? Or 5 plus 2 is 7. So what I need to do here is swap around this part here, right? So what we're gonna do, the 5 here, right? We're gonna break it up as 1 and 5 instead. Okay. So this is a trial and error process, but it's good to take the time to break it up, right? That way you can understand the entire process from start to finish. 1 times 1, 1. 2 times 5 is 10. So now we can see here, we can actually get an answer of 9, right? By assigning a positive to be 10 and a negative to the 1. So minus 1 plus 10 is 9. So now what you're going to do here, right, is you're going to transpose those signs. You see the negative, you bring it here, okay? And then the positive, you bring it here, okay? So now from here, what's going to happen? You're then going to rewrite this whole part here, right, as 2a minus 1, okay? And a plus 10, okay? So this part here is 10. It's positive. Let me just fix this quickly. It's actually a plus 5, okay? So now what you'll notice here is I'm basically replicating these two here, right? The only difference is that I'm assigning a variable of a, okay? And that only applies to terms that are here, okay? Whatever breakdown you get here. Here we have 2 and 1. So when we write it at the end, right, we can represent it in terms of a. So when we write this down, what are we going to get? The breakdown here is 2a minus 1 and then a plus 5. Okay. So that is basically it. Okay. So to confirm this, good to confirm, right? So let us expand this and see if we get that expression above. So from here, what do we get? 2a times a is 2a squared. 2a times 5 is plus 10a. And then next, minus 1 times a is minus a. Minus 1 times 5 is minus 5. Okay? So now, if we simplify this, what do we get? 2a squared plus 9a minus 5. So this approach might be taking a bit of time, but once you practice through a few of them, it will then become second nature. Okay, and you'll be able to do it quicker. So let us go to the next part. Next question. So in the next question, we have question 2.2.2. So we are given a squared plus a 4 plus b plus 4b. So now what we have here is quite a long list, right? Different terms. We've got a squared, a, and 4b. So we've got two variables. So what we're gonna do here is we need to break this up, okay? And at the end, we expect to see something more simplified or factorized. Let me just say, right? So where we have multiple factors representing the same expression. So one way to do this, let's just multiply these terms out, right? The a you're gonna multiply by the 4 and by the b. So we'll have a squared plus 4a plus ab plus 4b. So now here what I'm going to do next is to just reorganize this, okay, to make it look a bit more neater, okay. So we're going to be putting brackets around terms that are similar, okay. For example, a squared and core a, they are similar because they have the same variable, right, a or constant. Next one is AB plus 4B. What's common here is the B. Okay, so the expectation here is that by segregating these, we'll then be able to have a clearer view, right, of what terms are common with which terms. So from here, it will be easier to factorize, okay? Because for the first one, right, we can see that a is the common term. So we can remove that from the bracket. When we remove it, a squared is going to drop, right? Its exponent is going to drop by 1. So we have a to the 1. Next, plus, we're removing the a from the 4a, right? So what remains is a 4. And then next, here we're going to be removing the b, right? So we're going to take out the b. What we then have is a plus 4. And what do you see here? You see here that we've actually have two more common from the same expression, right? So by factorizing here, we can clearly see another common factor. What we then do is factorize that a plus 4. Okay, so when we factorize that, what do we have? We have a plus 4. We're taking it out because it's common, right? And then what is left is going to be a from this part here, okay, plus b from this part here, okay? And that is basically it. So in this session, we've gone through a few questions, right, where we've been simplifying the given expression as well as factorizing. So these processes are quite similar in a way, and it will be quite useful to learn them now, right? Because later on, where you tackle more complex algebraic expressions, you can then utilize these skill sets, right? So that will be it for this session. Thanks for joining, and till next time.